Hey everyone, Patty and Donnie Abel, and today we are doing Table Talk with the Abels. And today's topic is, what are you allowing your environment to shape you into? And how is it affecting your overall balance? What are the things that we do throughout our day that might be putting us on a trajectory of moving constantly in the same direction? Many of us, I know for me, I'm right-handed, so I have a tendency to do everything to the right. And I can see that in my body if I don't constantly work on it. In my hip rotation, in my shoulder rotation, I can see that in those areas. So, what that might look like is, if I work at my computer all day long, I might have my mouse to the right. I might have my notepad to the right. I might have my pen. Everything that I do things with could be on that right-hand side. Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to be constantly moving to the right. So I'm constantly rotating to my right and putting more weight into my right hip, which is creating imbalance in my hips and pelvis. Or if I'm doing a lot of work in the kitchen, I might have a tendency to place all of my utensils or those things that I use most of the time to the right, or I'm stirring with the right, using the spatula with my right hand. A lot of those habitual things lead us into the same direction. And then we want to, take a walk and we want to go straight. And our mind and our eyes are telling us to go straight, but our body is still trying to go in that habitual turn to the right while we go. So we're never fully balanced as we take steps forward. The balance on our sides are going to be different. So the weight on our feet are going to be different. And so we'll probably feel like we're a lot more balanced on one side than we are on the other side, or not really balanced. We might feel stronger on one side than we do the other side.
It's kind of like, you see it in athletes as well. So, athletes have a typical dominant side. And of course, we're all athletes in our own right, regardless of whether you're a professional baseball player, or whether you're an avid hiker, or whether you work in the garden. Those all take physical. It takes physical work. It takes balance. It takes things to be in those places at high levels and at many different levels for everyone. So you also think of it as a car. Your car that gets pulled to one side and out of alignment. That's exactly, as a human body, that's what happens with us as well, as we get shifted to one direction. And so what do? We fix the tires, but the tires is not what's fixing, it's the alignment. So if your alignment is constantly being pulled to one direction, that could be the right or the left side, depending on your body, you're shifting that way. And so when you're trying to go straight, as Patty was saying, your body alignment is taking you a different way than what you're seeing. So it's just like driving down the road. And if you look to the right constantly, the vehicle is going to maybe all of a sudden you'll end off in a ditch. So your environment affects that. So with that affecting that affects how you posturally stand, how you walk. And if something that you're constantly getting pulled to one direction will enhance you, misaligning you, and you'll constantly go in that direction unless you find ways of settling yourself and ways of pulling you from that. Change your environment. Yeah. So, athletes will do it as well. They're constantly, if they're throwing something on one side over and over again, it'll make one side stronger, but at the same time weaker and inflexible. So they have to find counterbalancing ways of pulling everything back. Otherwise, their career ends sooner. So
just a few things that you could do now just to kind of check in on that is, when you're standing up, maybe if you're in the kitchen doing work or something, just take a moment to notice if you have a tendency to be heavier into one side. I know I used to always shift all my weight into one side to stand. So just noticing that tendency and to start shifting your weight to get it more balanced out is a simple strategy to start with. Another one is when you're sitting. A lot of us sit cross-legged, correct? And if you'll notice, you always sit with the same leg crossing over. So a couple of things you could do. One, either change the cross, make sure you change, or just don't cross your legs. Sit with both feet on the ground. And then the other one that I would say, these are just like little simple things that you can kind of, just start kind of becoming more aware. Awareness is the first key to making changes. And then, so the other one I would say is notice which foot you always step forward on. We have a dominant side and we always step forward on one side. So figure out which one that is, and then start playing with stepping forward on the other side, always taking that first step on your other side to start, changing that repetitive movement. So those are just some simple things that, and again, those just kind of bring awareness. And then, from there, it's, getting in and working with someone. And that's some of the things that we work with is to help, you train your eye a little bit more, become a little bit even more aware, and then start to identify where the issues lay, and then how we create flexibility in the tight tensioning side, but at the same time create strength on the weaker side, because that's what happens when we're going in the same imbalanced direction all the time. Is we have one side that gets really strong or real, wound up, and another side that gets a little more inflexible and lazy. So we have to kind of strengthen up the lazy side and lengthen and create some flexibility in the tighter side. So that's something that you can look at, as you become more aware of just your habitual movements and start to change some of those, then, because we've done these for a long time, most of us. And so it's going to take a little time and some work and a trained eye to help find those and give you the right tools for it. So, that's where we come in is in that standpoint. So, just start again, thinking of what are you allowing your environment to shape you into? Is it shaping you into your best self? And what can you do to change that? So if you guys have enjoyed this, I would, please share it with your friends. We're going to be doing a lot more of these. It's definitely around a lot about balance, finding better balance, building bone density. That's going to be our next table talk is what is our environment doing to our bone density, and also how we can better strengthen our memory as we age. So everyone have a blessed day, and we'll see you at the next table talk.
Bye.